Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
At Parker, our purpose is simple. We want to make the world a better place. By working more efficiently, by using more sustainable practices, by developing better technologies, we keep moving forward. With each new idea, innovation, and partnership, we're one step closer to fulfilling our purpose every single day. To find out more, visit parker.com/purpose. Parker, engineering your success.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Saints Twitter podcast. Ryan and I are sad because we recorded something on Tuesday that we still haven't been able to put out yet. As soon as we get the okay to put it out, we will put it out. So instead of just waiting to get that okay, we're like, you know what? We got to give the people something. Give them, let's talk about something. Let's chat about it. Let's go, man. Like, there's been a lot that's happened. So anyone who's waiting for the JC Horn breakdown, we putting it off. We want to be able to fully watch him and give him time as a prospect that he deserves on the pod. But there's been not a lot, but there's been enough happening in the league and the Saints that we can hit on. So let's start with the Saints. Actually, before we do that, I want to give a shout out. A shout out and condolences as well, because I don't even think we've mentioned it on the podcast. First of all, shout out to our guy Greg Rosenthal, birthday today, the 19th February, turned 42. Like, Greg is one of the few examples of white don't crack, because Greg out here looking younger than me out here. But conversely, today would have been Chris Wesseling's 47th birthday. Yep. He passed away to cancer 3 weeks ago. We didn't really acknowledge it on the podcast, but I feel like we should, being that we have both been huge fans of Around the NFL podcast for years.
Yeah, man.
So happy birthday, Greg, and thoughts and prayers and condolences to the Around the NFL, like the family, to Lakeisha, to Link, to everyone, man, because that really rocked the football.
Yeah, the old football, because that's a popular, probably like the number one football podcast, like in general. I think the numbers are outrageous. Like, the numbers are in the multi-millions, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and people listen to that show for a long time, and though all four of them dudes, they just got that chemistry together. They're real friends. It's not like some production that's put together by NFL Network. You know what I'm saying? Actually, guys just got to know each other and are good friends with each other. And, just listening to them over the years, like, man, you really felt it. Like, when Chris was, Chris passed, it was like, wow. And damn, you saw the outpouring of love from everybody just, across the, football Twitter or whatever you want to call it. It was just like heavy. And when my girl, Colleen Wolfe, she was on NFL Network during the Super Bowl, like, just during the pre-game or whatever. And she just like broke through production, like, and just, went through her RIP and just talking about it. I was like, damn, that shit was heavy. Like, yeah, man, it was. You could just tell that shit was like, because her and Chris were like huge friends or whatever. Last time I talked with him, like in DM on Twitter, he planned on coming on this podcast once he got healthy or whatever. And, Mark Sessler's been on the podcast. Greg's been on the podcast a bunch of times. So,
Kevin
that's kind of, Kevin Patra, so that's our little, that's our fam from a distance, So, and that's, Greg, that's your homeboy. So,
yeah. It just sucks, man. It just, 47 years old just puts things, I hate to sound dumb, or repetitive, but like the last year and a half and, Chris passing, it just puts everything so much into perspective of like how finite like life is. Like this is it, bro. Like,
man, it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers saying you're rest in peace, and they're going through their grieving process. And it's just like, you gone, like you ain't here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just crazy. Just like it just make you think about life. Like what the fuck is this shit? Like
man,
it's this life shit we doing.
Yeah, it's like with COVID and fucking social, like these last like year and a half. I mean, we could go back to like 5 years ago, but like these last 2 years have just been draining.
Man, they tested.
Oh my God! So we're not going to get into like this whole philosophy type of podcast, but I'll just say this, man. If you're listening to this, just live your fucking life and be fucking happy, because this shit is short. Like, it's short. Like, if there's something that you want to do in life, take that chance. If there's someone you want to do in life, shoot a fucking shot. Like, it's short. It's short, man. Anyway, we're not going to get into a whole lifestyle podcast. I just want just put shit into perspective. So let's the Saints have done a couple of things that we haven't hit on. We've been busy, not really focused on the Saints. They just tiresome, bro. But let's talk about first thing they did in terms. Well, let's first talk about the cap. So the news came out a couple of days ago that the cap floor is going to be around 180 million, which is a 5 million increase, or a little more increase than they had originally thought. So they haven't set what the actual cap is. They just set what the floor is. And then before that, the Saints have made some moves. The first one, which was an interesting one, is they did some Mickey Loomis, cap flexibility, gymnastics, jiu-jitsu with Drew Brees' contract, where they kind of basically took his base and converted it into like a bonus. I don't know, man. Well,
yeah. I mean, this is a restructure.
Yeah, and
lowered his cap hit.
Lowered his cap hit tremendously. And then also another move they made is they cut Nick Eason, which to me, oh boy, like I've seen that offensive line with Pete and Caesar.
Yeah. I was like, damn, y'all sure? It's cold out there, Rick. You know what I'm
saying? I mean, I get from a financial perspective,
financially and just as a player, like he wasn't. It's not like he was just like a huge upgrade. He was just like he was a guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy you could put in there and he'll play decently. You know what I'm saying? But compared to the salary, it was just like, well, you could probably do better. Just finding some other guard. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So they're improving their cap situation. It is apt, and we've been fans of the team for years, but with social media now, like the constant fucking Saints cap salary situation, it is.
I'm just like, do you guys even take the time to remember your tweets from last year? It's like y'all say the same shit every year.
Every year, bro.
Like every year is like, the Saints are in dire situation with their cap. It's like, yes, they are, and they figure out a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that dire, bro. Like, y'all see every single year, like, since I've been on Twitter, I've been seeing the same shit every year. Like
every year, bro.
Like the Saints cap with my boy, I forgot my boy name, Jason OTC or whatever. The fuck, whatever. he posts this little, top 3 worst cap situations in the league, and everybody's like, "Oh, how the Saints are going to get through this? They're going to have to cut somebody." Blah blah blah. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, have y'all not watched Loomis Economics yet? Like,
come on, man. Like, it's they may have to make some cuts. Like, there are players that they're going to have to make some decisions on in terms of what they're going to do. Two being, I think, on the top is Janoris Jenkins and Malcolm Brown. I think those are 2 players that they have to figure out what they want to do with them. In terms of Janoris, I don't know if you approach him for a restructure or you give him a contract extension that's going to lower his base.
It's tough, man, because he played well last year. He played fucking good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he did.
Outside of some penalties here and there, but like as a cover guy, I mean, he was like kind of more consistent than Marshawn Lattimore, even though he didn't have to match up with some of the matchups Marshawn did, but like just playing his spot, like he held it down, man.
And I think that there's going to be it's going to be a completely different Saints team, and it's funny because shout out, speaking of Greg Rosenthal, he mentioned it in his NFC potential cuts column that the 2021 Saints may look drastically different than. And I don't think they're going to look drastically different, but they're going to for sure look different. But that said, if you think this is a team that can win, and let's assume, hypothetically speaking, that Jameis is quarterback. If you think this is a team that can win, 10, 11 games, and then you get into the playoffs and whatever, let the fucking chips fall where they may. Like, to me, like, you can't let go of a player like – you can't, like, cut Janoris Jenkins.
No.
Can't do it, man.
Can't do it. Especially the way this, like, the defense is built through the secondary. Dennis Allen is he cuts his teeth on the secondary. The way he designs his defense is through the secondary, through coverage. That's just how he rolls. And, we finally, through all the years of searching, finally had 2 good cornerbacks on the outside. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just hold on to that. I'm like, now I know Janoris Jenkins, he's getting up there in age, and he could fall off next year, But I would rather just wait till that happens. Like, right now he looks like he's a good, solid starting cornerback that's not costing you like ridiculous money. So I mean, I just figure out a way to make that shit work.
And that's hard to find, bro. Like that.
It's hard, bro, we know that. Like, we know it's hard to find. Like, we know, bro. We like. Sean Payton, like, sending nudes to Josh Norman and shit, trying to get him down here. Like, we was hurting, man.
So speaking of, so that's Janoris' situation with Malcolm Brown. I think he is, bro. He is. But we saw firsthand last year in games he didn't play, like the run defense takes a huge hit when he does not play.
We're going to miss him, man, but he gone, man.
Yeah.
Bring him back. Unless, they just talking, salary not a big deal, and they just work some shit out. I don't know. But other than that, I think he out of there.
Yeah. Like, I keep saying, I've said it for weeks and a couple of months now. Like, people better buckle up for this offseason, bro. Like, not just Saints-wise, league-wise. Like, we already seen it. Matt Stafford got traded. Carson Wentz got traded. Big Rake might be on the prowl. So, like,
Big rape out hunting.
Are we gonna get? Are the Broncos gonna decline Von Miller's option? Like, bro, like JJ Watt, free
agent right now. JJ Watt, man. Deshaun Watson, that whole ordeal.
Sam Darnold is probably gonna get tricked. Like, it's gonna get.
Talk about Derek Carr out there. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I doubt it, but like, I don't know. Greg Rosenthal talked about it on the podcast today. He was like, I don't know, where's this coming from? Like, who's putting this Derek Carr heat out there? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. So. And it's funny because it's not really the players on the team that the Saints have. Like, obviously they have decisions to make, players on the team in terms of cuts, but the decision is going to come down to, who do they prioritize with Marcus Williams and Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me midway through the season, I would have said Trey. And I don't know if it was like the neck injury, but if you extrapolate what pass rushers get paid, regardless, like what they get paid over what safeties get paid, and Marcus Williams, despite his flaws, has shown literally consistently that he is a above average NFL starting safety.
Yes.
They still don't get paid. They don't break the bank historically. No. They just don't. So this is just me, hypothesizing. I think you got to prioritize Marcus over bringing Trey back.
I agree. And as I said earlier, the way the defense is set up, it's about the secondary. And just having a guy, I know all the complaints about Marcus Williams. I know. I've covered them extensively over the years. He misses tackles. He sometimes takes bad angles. But that's kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not like he's good in coverage. He's he's stupid good range. Most of the time he's, when the defense is clicking and they're all communicating, he's in the right spot. He's where he need to be. You don't see the Saints getting beat deep a lot. Like, you don't see the ball just going over the defensive head. Usually it's like, when it does happen, it's some short stuff, breaking tackles, or, maybe, he's on one side defending and, a cornerback gets deep. But other than that, most of the time the Saints will beat is just like, marching down the field and in the red zone and stuff like that. So, he's one of the better free safeties in the league. I don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I don't know, but he's in the top echelon of free safeties. And for what it would cost to keep him, it just makes sense to just keep him in house because he's young. He's been relatively healthy. He's played a bunch of snaps. He's kind of just showed, even after this season, after the defense starting off with the lumps, he just solidified. He was just like, he was solid the rest of the season, man. Like, he was just rock solid. Like, I just couldn't find any complaints. And with, compared to Trey Hendrickson, you just got to be careful with it, man, because sacks, we've seen it. Like, we've seen it how, guys could have those one-hit wonder seasons. I wouldn't say he was a one-hit wonder, but, you could tell a lot of his sacks just came off of, like, being Johnny on the spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he beat his guy, which is good. Like, that's what you want a pass rusher to do. He would beat his man, and he'd be Johnny on the spot to get the sack for whatever reason. But you just don't know if he's that guy that could really, like, be that consistent pass rusher year after year. And for what he's going to cost, like, you're talking about $17 million a year.
Can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, I don't know, bro. I don't know if you want to dump in that water, but it's going to hurt. Like, losing him will hurt.
Yes.
That's just a fact. Like, losing him will hurt. But I think losing Marcus Williams will be just a tougher hurdle to get over.
Yes, I agree. Because I think I think it's easier in theory, and I say this in theory, to find a competent pass rusher, whether that's draft or free agency. Well, we're not going to talk about two first, but in theory, it's easier to find a pass rusher than it is to find like a true single high free safety that has the range that Marcus has.
Right. Exactly. So it's gonna be a gamble though, man. It's gonna be a gamble. You hate to see Trigger Trey go somewhere, go to the Falcons or whatever, and just turn into like a legitimate, top 10 DE pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you hate to see that.
I was thinking of teams I could see him going to. Falcons is a good one.
Yeah, they need it.
Their cap situation isn't good, but I can see the Titans kind of throwing money at him in some type of way. He kind of seems like a Dave Gettleman Giants guy too, bro.
Absolutely. I can see that shit. He's gonna have a market. That's the thing. Like,
oh yes. Without question.
We've seen like in the past couple of years with free safeties, the teams don't go crazy like on the opening of free agency to try to get free safeties. But like pass rushers, like they light them phones up early. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to get them in. Can you sack the quarterback a little? Come on in, buddy. Like we got a seat for you. You know what I'm saying? Like they will pay.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, it's just the way the game is, you know. And a lot of teams I think gonna be competing for Trey Henderson, man. They're gonna look at the stats. They're gonna look at the pressures. They're gonna look at the hits and the sacks. They're gonna say, get this guy in the building.
Yeah, it'd be, and I don't know if the Saints think, do they? I doubt it, but do they think about using a tag, maybe like a trend, like even if they were to franchise tag Marcus Williams like that, it's not a ridiculous number.
No, it's not. But I just think, just the way they manage the cap, they want as minimal year one hit as possible.
Yes,
100%. So and that cap is just going to be big. Now they could work something out down the line, like they could change that franchise tag into like a contract and then add like a ghost year on it and stretch out the money. And I don't know, and that's possible. We'll see. Like they known for doing some shit like that, but I don't know. I think they're just gonna try to sign Marcus. I don't know, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Like there haven't been like no reports of Saints and Marcus Williams people have been talking or whatever. And it's after the Super Bowl, so they should be able to talk now, at least with the agent. So
right.
But it's a different year. There's no combine and nothing. That's usually when we find out teams are talking and stuff like that. So it's just kind of been a vacuum of information where we just hadn't been hearing much.
Let me ask you this, just because I still think there's a chance it may happen, not so much in cap relief, but I just know Sean. Give me a percentage of Mike Thomas trade this offseason.
I say it's about a 30% chance.
Okay, I would say 40, but yeah, we're in the same range.
It's likely not going to happen, but it's definitely possible. Like it wouldn't surprise me. I'll put it like that. Like if I logged in tomorrow morning and just opened up and Saints have worked out a deal to whoever has agreed to trade Michael Thomas to the whatever, and I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like it wouldn't like.
Yes.
It wouldn't blow me away. It wouldn't be like the Jimmy Graham trade where I was like, what the fuck?
Bruh. I was working. I almost left my job, bruh.
I was like, what? I just had to look at the tweet over and over. Like, am I getting chapped? Like, I
was hurt, bruh. Hurt.
I was hurt. Like, I was hurt, man. Like, I was hurt.
Yeah, no.
And I love Mike Thomas. Don't get me wrong. Like I love him, and I'd be like, I'd suck to see him go, but I don't know. Like okay, you know what I'm saying? He would be hard to replace as a player, but
for sure. And you know what's crazy is that I think I tweeted this today or yesterday. I'm not sure, but I said if you really think about it, like there are a lot more holes the Saints have on as a team in general than I think most people are giving them credit for.
Man.
There's some holes, bro.
Yeah, and especially after this season. After this off season, there's gonna be some holes. I'm telling you, the defensive line will not be as good next year. It just would not. Especially if Cam Jordan continues. I don't know if he's in decline or maybe he's just had an off year. But if he continues to dip. Man, where's your pass rush? Like, who's pass rushing on the defensive line? Onyemata? That's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Jadeveon Clowney? Sean finally gets his guy? I don't know, bro.
Clowney up there on a $2 million deal or something? Yeah. And you know how the defense, how the defenses go, man. If the defensive line ain't as good, secondary ain't as good.
And it all goes, it goes hand in hand, right? Because, there's a hole next to DeMario. Like in theory, that player has to be Zach Bond. Like it has to be Zach Bond. Like you invested a 3rd round pick in this player. Like it has to be him, right? I know.
I just see it, man. Like,
and then as well as they played last season, especially in stretches, what have you, like Malcolm Jenkins ain't getting no younger, bro. Like,
no, it's like this was his year. Like this last season was like,
and there were some times where he looked old as fuck.
He looked old. There was some times he looked old, and maybe it's time to a point where he doesn't need to play as many snaps. I know he's Mr. Play 100% snaps, but maybe he becomes more of a situational Kurt Coleman type. Coming on certain pass players, but that's just never been him. He's like just got to be a guy that gets involved in everything or whatever. So yeah, I mean the defense getting older, bro. Like Malcolm Jenkins. Offensively, I mean you got Mike Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders. He's not a guarantee to be on the team. No, he's not. Like he's not. They could just cut him to save money. Like it's possible. Like Sean Payton. I like him as a player, but Sean Payton. You know how Sean Payton is, man. He's like. I could repeat that production. Like, how many yards did he have last year? About 600.
Yeah, I would say.
Sean Payton's gonna be like, well, I could create that production from some other player. I could draft a receiver in the 4th round or whatever. Like that's how Sean Payton's gonna look at it. Like, and it's not like Drew Brees there anymore. So it's not like, okay, let me get this player for Drew. Like you know what I'm saying? It's a new day. You know what I'm saying? You got to get. You might get if you bring Winston back, you might have a different view of what type of receivers you want on the team. Maybe not so much of these intermediate, these quick game, intermediate, catch the ball, running catch type players, but maybe you want more big. Maybe you want to go big and get some big trees that run down the field and stuff like that for James. I don't know. But I think there's a good chance that Emmanuel will be gone. And then what you got? You got Traquan Smith
and Mike and Adam Troutman.
You're hoping my dude, who's the rookie? The rookie you did for me.
Marquez Callaway.
Marquez Callaway. You hope he's taking some next step, which I think he will. I like what I saw from him, but he's a UDFA. You'll see. So I mean, that's your wide receiver core. You know what I'm saying? Let's go win a Super Bowl, baby. Change
with Pete and and Caesar as your guards.
And just think about that, man. Like I know people are ready to kick Drew Brees out, which I am too. Like I'm ready to move on, but don't forget like what he brings to the table as far as like getting the protections, making sure the protections are there. You know what I'm saying? Getting the right guy to run fits, stuff like that. He coaches all that shit up on the field.
People have no idea how much over the years that Drew has made really bad, like not great offensive lines at times when Brian De La Puente was out here, bro.
Brian De La Puente. What was my dude? To the Texans.
Senio Calamente.
I mean, he played like every position on the line, man. Like
Senio, man, bring Senio back. Shit,
he was the shit, man.
We loved it. We love Senio, bro.
I loved him, man. He did his thing. Man. Peter get hurt, Senio will come on in.
Put Senio in there, bro.
Dreef get hurt. Let's throw Senio over there. You know what I'm saying? Toronto upstairs get hurt. Oh, let's just throw him.
He's what people like thought that Pete, like the versatility. Oh, yeah. Pete can take out to the left tackle.
He can't go to the left tackle. He's horrible at left tackle. I don't want to hear that shit. Horrible.
But like, there's holes, bro. Like there's
shit. Where War Daddy at? Bring
Larry back. Speaking of, and I just thought that's because I remember the pictures that Catherine retweeted today. Zach. Speaking of Zach Strief, assistant offensive line.
Mm-hmm. I love it, man. I just like the fact that this is a 7th round pick for the Saints, 2006. Rode the pine for a while, then became a starter for years, played great. took hometown discounts to stay with the team every year. Never like he was a starter, a good Pro Bowl, Pro Bowl right tackle.
Man.
And he would take like $2-3 million deals and shit. Like he would just take money and then retired, then went straight to play-by-play for the Saints. Long time position held by Jim Henderson. Did that okay. Now he's going to coach with the Saints. And who knows for that leagues, he might do well and end up being like a long-time coach in the NFL, man. I don't know. I like that. That's pretty cool.
It is. Our podcast has become so much not football lately. Like, did we even talk about the Chris Richard thing? I don't know we did. I don't think we
sure didn't, huh? Yeah, I forgot about it, actually. Yeah, he's the secondary coach. Which we talked about. Like, we threw his name out
You
there.
did. No, I didn't. That was you. I ain't taking credit for it. That was all you, bro.
Hey, it's all the team. We put it out there, a couple of weeks ago, that Chris Richard would be a nice guy to bring in with Aaron Glenn going over to the Lions. Chris Richard, he's a good coach. He was a good coach with the Cowboys. He was calling plays on defense. Was with Seattle, during a lot of their good years.
Yeah, he's just I think you said it. He's just a good coach, like good coach.
Good coach. So I think he's gonna fit right in. Young kid. I mean, not young kid, but he's not some old head or he's a young guy that's gonna be able to kind of connect with the players and stuff like that. So I think he's gonna fit right in. Shit, I could see him not even sticking around long, man. He probably bounce out after a year or two, gonna be a DC somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
What was it? The Mike Nolan?
Pull that Mike Nolan.
Can we bring Mike back?
Bring Mike back, man. Like, I don't know what he'll do. He could be just like assistant to the whoever is linebacker.
I don't know, bro. Right now. But that press conference where he talked about he got hot sauce in his eye. I was like, what is Mike Nolan doing?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But man, he was he struggled, man.
Oh boy. Oh, speaking of this, okay. All right. I'm only going by Greg's potential surprise cuts. If you haven't read it, go to NFL.com, read AFC, NFC, Greg's potential surprise cuts. It was great info. But he kind of said like he wouldn't be shocked if the Cowboys cut Jalen Smith.
And I could see that.
I could too.
Like, he was bad last year, bro. Like, I would watch him. I don't know if I tweeted about it much, but I would watch and I'd be like, ugh. Like, that's something I would expect from like a Saints linebacker circa 2012. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is disgusting. Like, I don't know, man. Like, but man, I don't know. Like, how does that happen? Like, cause what year was that? Was that 2018 when the Cowboys defense like beat the shit out the Saints?
Yes, it was.
Like him and Vander Esch,
Vander Esch, bro. Etch-a-sketch.
They were just looking like the new Dawn Patrol, bro. They were
bruh. As many linebacker duos we've seen in Carolina with Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, Devin White and fucking Levante David. Like, we've seen some like linebacker duos like in our division, but those dudes and like when they were playing like the level they were playing at in 2018, bro.
I'll tell you what though, like even though he played bad last year, bro, like if he got released, I would jump on that.
Come on,
hot second. Then you got Chris Richard.
Come on, bro.
I would be right on the phone and making that happen, man. Like, come here, make your career.
Pair him next to DeMario and just put speed.
Let's go.
Come on, man. Woo. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, okay, so that's a great segue to let's just talk about, I said at the beginning of the podcast, this NFL offseason is about to be nuts, bananas. Part of it is, some of it is cap related, right? Like, teams are in back cap situations, and you just got to make that economic choice of, is this player worth this amount of money? And players of high elk are going to get cut. Like, it's just going to happen around the league. Players are going to get traded. Like we've already said, we've seen it. JJ Watt, asked the Texans, I want to be out this fucking shit show. Like, just let me go. Geno Atkins probably is going to get cut. We already saw the Panthers cut K'Wan Short, who used to, for a while, he would terrorize our offensive line. Like, and I don't know if Sean's going to go, but I know Sean's type, right? And we know Sean's type. Kurt Cole, any player that he's played against, especially in division, that he has struggled with as a head coach, when they get cut, he gives them the fucking eye emojis. Like, oh, all right. Like, I saw today that the Bills are going to let Matt Milano test free agency. If that's not a Saints fucking linebacker, I don't know what is.
Without question.
White, kind of athletic, make plays, lots of tackles, not great in coverage. Come on to Erline, bro.
Come on to Erline, bring your lunch pail, bro. Let's get it rolling.
Guaranteed I don't know if they're going to end up signing him, but I am guaranteed there's going to be a report like the Saints are interested in bringing in Matt Milano.
And you know what? The way they draft linebackers, I'd say just go right ahead, bro. Like, just stick to free agency, man.
Yeah. Shout out to
stay working on the draft.
Shout out to our guy Jordan Grove. Like, he brought that same point, and that was my kind of point to him on Twitter. I was like, bro, I don't trust these guys with drafting linebackers at all. Like, they need to trade for one, or they need to sign one in free agency.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
I think
and it seemed like everybody else in the division just fall on linebacker. They just happen to just like, oops, oh shit, we just got another linebacker. Like maybe not the Falcons. Like the Falcons, I mean, I know they got Debo or whatever, but
yeah, and he had his two seasons of being like good, but like he's fallen off tremendously. But yeah,
but like
maybe Sean should call up his old buddy Mike Zimmer and say, you know what? I know Anthony Barr.
Hey,
I'm saying. Anyway, so let's talk about some of the big stuff that's happened in the NFL. First thing, let's start with the Carson Wentz trade, going from Philly to Indy, which, to Greg Rosenthal's point and to just a general point in general, the fact that the Eagles were able to get, so it's a second round pick in this year's draft, and then I believe it's a third it's a third in this year's draft, and then next year it's a second that can become a first based on playing time. Like, bruh, like, I get it. Frank Wright is there. Carson Wentz was balling when Frank Wright was in Philly. He played some of his best ball, and I know his situation is going to be different. He's going to go to a team that has a pretty good offensive line, has good weapons, ascending team. People overrate the Colts every fucking year, and it's crazy to me. But anyway, it's just wild. It's wild to me. But anyway, the fact, like, Carson Wentz literally was dreadful to watch last. Like, he would do things on the field where I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it was that bad. So for Philly to get a third and a potential first, huh?
All right. And it's a risk too. Like, even though they didn't give up a lot, because I think that he has to play 70% of snaps, and they have to make a playoffs. Which is
is it both or just one or the other? I thought it was one or the other.
I think it's both.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
But I mean, that's still, like, it's possible they could do that, like,
easily.
Even if he doesn't play like super great, it's just that's a shitty division, and you know what I'm saying.
He could get hurt, injured, and Jacoby Brissett might lead them to like a not like the play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly. So, but it's risky. It's risky with that because I don't know what it is. I mean, we talked about it before. Sean Payton saying in that Peter King, like, I want the ball in Wentz's hand in that 2018 game. And I just remember watching that 2018 primetime game, and I just looking at Wentz and looking at his eyes, man. I just like, something ain't right. Like, something ain't right there. Something ain't right. We've heard all the little
when the lights got bright, he shrunk.
I just feel like that. I know Patrick Clayball like hates shit like that. Like what?
I know.
Or the lights too bright, Ryan. Like what? I could just hear him like, this is about the lights that's changing this quarterback. Like I hear you, Clayball. Like I just see the little cloud right here. Like I hear you, bro. But I'm just saying, it's like something just wasn't right there. And when you just kind of look at him, like he had like an okay rookie year. He had that really good sophomore season, then he got hurt.
Like he played that sophomore season, he played MVP ish.
Yeah. Like it was a good quarterback. Then he got hurt. And Nick Foles came in, did his thing, and it just ain't been right since, man. Like it just ain't been really right. Even after even though they had like some decent games, it was like something ain't really clicking here. And then you have all these reports coming out in the locker room, these anonymous sources, teammates not liking him. I don't know, man. Something funky there. I don't know. But look, he's talented. He does have talent. At least you've seen it. It's not like some quarterbacks where you're waiting and you're hoping to see it. At least with him, you've seen it. So maybe you can find it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could find, crack the Rubik's Cube and figure out the code. And, maybe Frank Wright knows that code. I don't know. But it's kind of risky on the Colts, man. I mean, for the Eagles, it's like they just they take the mea culpa, they get rid of that salary, and they move on, man. Whether it's Jalen Hurts or drafting somebody at 6?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you, bro. Like they're in a position, bro, where
I mean, there's not like they were holding the Jalen Hurts. What was he, a second round pick? It's like, hey, if they got somebody that falls there, shit, you take them. Like, it ain't no question, especially if you like them. If it's like Trey Lance or it was Justin Fields.
Ooh, buddy. So shout out to Dylan Sanders, who co-hosts with Ross Jackson, and he was like, man, like if Philly takes a quarterback at 6, and I quote tweeted that, and I said the Saints should be calling Philly to see what it would take to trade for Jalen Hurts, because
oh hell yeah,
just saying.
Oh hell yeah, man! I'll be like, shit, what you want, player? Motherfucker, that's all you had to say. Like, yeah.
Like, but, I was not a Jalen fan as a prospect. I know you were. No,
I like him. Like, I like Jalen Hurts as a person. Like, as a person, I just like that he just he's gonna be a guy that's gonna be around for a while. I wasn't like crazy about his tape and like that, but and we saw him last year. Like, he could do some things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you put it together, you give him a good game plan, he could do some things, but it's not like he was playing like out of his mind or anything like that. It's just like
I think the best game he actually, and I didn't even watch this game, I'm just going by what I was told, is like, I guess his first like 3 quarters, because they played us, the Eagles played us when that terrible loss that the Saints did, and then the following week they played the Cardinals, and I guess he played really good against the Cardinals, and it was like a duel between him and Kyler that I did not see. But it's interesting. The thing with Wentz, though, and this has been even when he was at North Dakota State, is his accuracy, bro. Like, him and Cam, just in terms of like that scatter shot accuracy, like when they get on, they're on, but when they're off, that shit
miss. Like 3-4 yards is like, where were you going?
It's gonna be interesting, bro. Like, and this is what I love, that the league has come to this thing of like, this guy ain't the answer. Let's get him fucking out of here, bro. Like,
get him out of here.
Even 4 years ago, that wasn't the case.
Really? Right.
And I think what really changed, and I know people may have questions about him in regards to him being a head coach, and I get it, but really the person that really kind of changed the whole game was Cliff Kingsbury. He came into a situation in Arizona. They had just drafted a quarterback 10th overall in the draft, fam.
Right, man.
And he said he got the job, and he was just like, this guy ain't it. Like,
ain't it.
We got the first number overall pick. You're never gonna be able to pick that high. In theory, again, Josh Rosen is not the guy. I know who the guy is. We're gonna draft a quarterback, even though we just drafted a quarterback the year before. That took one, balls, two, and I remember, I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was that was just saying that Michael Bidwell, who's the owner of the Cardinals, and Steve Kahn, it was a thing for them because they didn't want to draft another quarterback, and they had just drafted one. And from a financial aspect and all that, I get it. But Cliff was like, if I'm taking this job, you got to be open. And I know people question him as a head coach, whatever, but he's really the one that's changed that whole tenor in the NFL. You got to stick with a quarterback, and that's the guy.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about drafting these guys, because it's not like, pre 2011, where you sign a first round quarterback and he's guaranteed $50 million off bat, and he signed a huge contract. Man, you getting these dudes on penny deals, man. Even number one overall, you could get out of that shit. It's not going to disable your franchise for the next 3 or 4 years if you fuck up. You just got to admit you fuck up. Don't be the Chicago Bears.
Oh boy.
Over year after year saying, if we just coach him up, if we get Trubisky, no, the Bears should have got Trubisky, rid of Trubisky 2 years ago.
2 years ago, bro.
2 years ago, they would have been moved on. Who knows? Maybe they would have drafted maybe they could have drafted one of these quarterbacks or whoever. You don't know what it could happen.
And think about it. 2 years ago, that Bears defense, and I know defense, whatever, that Bears defense was enough to take them maybe to an NFC Championship game or even a Super Bowl, bro. That Bears defense was.
That's how good that defense was, man. They just needed to get competent quarterback play.
And those years of that defense got wasted.
Yes.
Wasted.
Now it's too late. The defense is old now.
Oh, yep.
Khalil Mack is what the fuck going on with him? Is
you know what I'm saying? He gonna be a free agent or traded this offseason?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No, just say it.
Yeah, it's mad fascinating, bro. It's fascinating, man.
It is.
I don't know.
It's very refreshing to be let's get this guy out of here. So that's the situation there. Let's move on to there's a lot of smoke that Big Rape might not be back in Pittsburgh next season.
Yeah.
And it's he was drafted in 2011, and I don't think, maybe we have, and I'm just not remembering. The Colts situation with Peyton, but that was more injury related. But have we really seen a situation quite like this, that such a quarterback of his magnitude or whatever you want to call it, and he basically said kind of said I'm willing to take a pay cut, blah blah, come back. The Steelers cap situation is also not great. I think they're 30 million over the cap right now. And if you just listen to the front office talking and they not making any type of commitment to Ben at all.
None.
Ben might be. He still want to play. Ben might be looking for a job, bro.
I don't know, man. He was looking kind of. I mean, what Greg Rose is gonna
call
Brees? Big Brees. He was looking kind of washed, bro. What good is Big Ben if he washed, man? It's not like he's like a Drew Brees. At least with Brees, it's okay, he's washed, but he's gonna put the ball in the right spot. He's gonna make great decisions and and all that stuff. He's gonna be accurate in the short to intermediate or whatever. With Big Ben, it just was it was just bad, man. It was. I really think it's time for Ben to go. It's time. I don't even know. If he gets cut and signs with another team, I don't even think he'll start the whole season. It's just, unless he was coming off an injury, so maybe he needs to get stronger. But I don't know, man. He hadn't really had he hadn't been great in a while.
He hasn't, but there's so much quarterback upheaval this offseason. Like he get a job. Like,
oh yeah, that's no question. I fully believe that.
Like
I get a job.
Look, I can think of two teams right now. The Washington football team.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this would work, but I just know how he is as a coach in terms of big names. I can see like John Gruden wanting to bring him to the Raiders.
Boy, that'd be hilarious. Because you know Derek Carr gonna act like a bitch. He would not have that.
Can't stand him, Ryan.
Bruh. Oh man. And then how big Ben is. Ben throw his little shots. You know what I'm saying? Ben is something else his damn self. So
I say that if the Raiders brought in Ben, I would expect Derek Carr to get traded. Like I would not.
Right.
Right. But yes, you know Derek. I just want to see it happen just for hilarity's sake, because he gonna be just bitching, through the whole thing wherever he got traded to or something. And speaking of Derek Carr, can we stop with Derek Carr traded to the Saints bullshit?
Nah.
Putting a kibosh on that right now.
Nah, good on that. Saints in an interesting spot, man, because it's like they're trying to just stay above water. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in what sense?
It's like they're just trying not to get worse, but I feel like they need to get better. You know what I'm saying? It's like what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we just trying to make the playoffs? It's like I feel like the team needs to improve from what it was last year and the year before. But it feels like they just got to do a lot of work just to kind of stay afloat and
yes, they do.
At least close to at par with what they were, last season and the year before. I just don't know if that's enough.
They're in a position of like, if you're a fan of a team like we are, it's kind of the worst position to be in.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, let's get this straight. Like, they have extremely talented elite players in certain positions.
Yeah. In their prime.
But it goes back to football in general. And I know, whatever, the Super Bowl isn't a prime example of that, but obviously it's a team game, what have you. But if you don't got a quarterback, like, you don't really got shit. And
nope.
I don't, this whole Jameis thing, like, whatever, man. Like, I'll say this, and I've said it on the pod before, Jameis is who he is. Like, do I think that if he's brought back and he's a starter, are we going to see, like, unleash the dragon, some fucking deep passes, like, offense going to be all open and shit? 100%. And it's going to be fun to watch. Are there going to be interceptions? Yes. Do I think that if Jameis is a starter, if they make the playoffs, can they go on like a run? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's like, what do they do? Like you said, do they stay afloat, or do they don't really have and here's the thing, and it gets back to our missed Saints Dynasty podcast we did. Like, they don't really have the ammo to make a move. Like, they really don't. Like,
they don't.
There's really nothing they can do to bring in Deshaun Watson, unless it's, and I don't even know if this was interest in Texans, but it has to be like Mike Thomas. I don't think it's Mike Thomas. I think it has to be like Alvin and 4 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks. Yeah. And even if you're the Texans, is that enough? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And then they're picking 28 overall in the draft. The last time they were picking like 27 and moved to like 14 or 12 to draft Marcus Davenport, and that cost I don't know, man. The player, it's gonna sound weird to say, and I don't know if he can do it as a rookie, but the player that I think they draft him, that I would feel pretty decent about them, not long term, but at least in like the next couple of years, Matt Jones just seems to make sense. And I don't know where he's going to get drafted. I don't know where his range is. I don't think he's going to make it to 28. Daniel Jeremiah had the same draft as Matt 28. I don't know, man. It's fascinating. It's literally fascinating to see how all this is going to unfold.
Yeah, and, I mean, Daniel Jeremiah had him going like to the Falcons in his first mock.
Did he?
And what's that? The Falcons?
I was like, that's high, bro. 4?
Mac Jones. I think he had Mac Jones going high in his first mock, and in his second mock he had him going us. So it's like I don't know where Mac Jones. I don't know. Like I don't know where he's falling. There's no consensus on it.
I still think that I don't know where the Patriots pick, but I still think him and the Patriots just make a fucking perfect fucking marriage.
But they say like good luck predicting what the Patriots do. You know what I'm saying? It's like
touche.
So I mean, I don't know, man. But yeah, I would, if he was there at 28, like it just wouldn't even be a question for me. I was like, man, go get that.
Yeah, easy. And it's funny too because I've started thinking of like the players like in my cloud of I would want the Saints to draft at 4. At 28. And right now there's only 4 players, and those 4 players are all offensive players. Like maybe because I'm not super plugged into the draft, but like all my 4 players are all fucking offensive players, bro. Mac Jones, Tony from Florida, Najee Harris, Travis Etienne. Like it's like you said on the last podcast. Just get good players, and I promise you it will figure itself out. Could you imagine, like, if you just thought about it, right? Especially how, the draft and the NFL still kind of devalues running backs. And, let's say it's Jameis, hypothetically. And Sean says, you know what? We want, Jameis is going to be our quarterback. But we're going to lean on our run game. Could you imagine a tandem of AK and Najee Harris, bro?
Oh man,
just two-piece in defense.
Woo,
bro.
I would love it, bro. I love it.
Just like that. Like, there's different ways to skin the cat in football. And
if you turn Jameis into like, I'm not saying like the exact quarterback, but look like how the Browns did with Baker Mayfield last year.
That's a great analogy, man.
Like they just play action, kind of keep it simple, and take your shots when it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of break it down, like not hide the quarterback, but just kind of streamline it where the game is not going through Jameis. It's going through AK and Najee Harris and the offensive line, and, you know what I'm saying, and a good defense. You could win with that, bro. Like you could win a championship with that. Like
you could. Like
but then at times, you got to sling the ball. I mean, Jameis Winston can sling the fucking ball.
Yeah, let's not be silly. Like Jameis can throw the thing when he wants to. Like, I'm just saying. Like I've started thinking about like the cloud of my players I want at 28. If that's where they stay. Where players might be there, and like those are my 4. Like no defensive player at all. I haven't even dug super heavily into the draft. I honestly don't know if I'm going to.
No, I like Najee Harris. It was funny. I was listening to DJ's podcast, and he was interviewing Najee Harris at the Senior Bowl. Man, he sounded so miserable playing at Alabama, bro.
What's the crazy thing about Najee is, and I told this to my girl. But if you listen to him talk, his voice and the person that he is, like as a person, does not match how he plays on the field, bro.
It don't match at all. Like he's very just kind of, just expressive and like he just sounds like like a guy like the Saints community would love to interview him. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
Like they'd love that. He'll be like the media, whatever they call that little award of the year, where like he's the media guy of the year or whatever. But and he was like, when he was talking about playing at Alabama. He was just like, they asked him like, oh, how does playing at Alabama compare for the NFL? He was like, he let out this long sigh, like, we are constantly micromanaged at Alabama. It's one of the toughest places. It wears you down mentally and physically. And
damn, he let the chopper sing on Nick Saban like that.
I'm like, damn, bro, you sound miserable. Like, he couldn't wait to get the fuck out of Alabama, bro.
And he went back, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, fuck it. Like, I guess, whatever. But that shit was just funny to me. Like, he wasn't really dissing him, but it was like, he just sounded like if you just listen to it, he sounded like he couldn't wait to get the fuck out that place.
We can have our own little Alabama backfield with Alvin and fucking Alvin, bro. Come on.
Shit, ain't that some shit?
Let's turn it back. I'll end with this because we can fucking chat football and we've gone like an hour. I'll end with this. There's been a lot of fire about division rival Carolina Panthers, getting shit ready, going after number 4, Deshaun Watson. And I believe it's hilarious because I literally, before like this news or whatever dropped, I had tweeted about it like a couple of weeks before. I said, I wonder if Carolina makes an offer to Texans, like it has to be like, I think I said Christian McCaffrey and 3 first-round picks. And literally like last week, like that's like, it comes out to be like that's potentially what the offer may be. And in terms of draft capital and a blue prospect elite player, Carolina's picking number 8. And then you have Christian McCaffrey, and if they offer the Texans 2 future first-round picks, I think that's I know Houston don't want to trade them, but I think that's an offer that makes them go,
And it might even throw Teddy in there. Like,
oh, sorry, I forgot Teddy. Because at least that gives them a quarterback that can be.
You have a starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. Like, I mean, like,
bro.
Like, at least, like, if the Texans got that call, they'll hang up and be like, okay, let's talk about this.
Yes. Yep.
Like, what you think about this? Like, I don't know. Like, then you had 8, maybe you could package something and move up for a quarterback if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, maybe we could do something. So, yeah, I can see it, bro. And, the owner, the new owner, he's a old hedge fund guy, made billions. I mean, he bought a fucking NFL team in the 21st century.
That's wild.
First of all, if you look into it, to buy an NFL team, a majority stake, you have to come with cash. And all NFL teams are going for $1 billion plus. You know what I'm saying? So he had to put up like $1.1 billion in cash or something like that. Cash, not fucking stock assets and shit. That's money. And that's the type of money he made as a hedge fund, as a dude that ran hedge fund. And if go listen to our podcast with my cousin Jarrell. You talk about hedge funds, like they play the game of risk. They put up big money with high risk. And if somebody gonna make this deal, the motherfucking owner, look, when they wanted Matt Rule, when Matt Rule came on there, like Matt Rule was supposed to go to the Giants. When Matt Rule got in that building in the Panthers, they locked the fucking doors and said, "You ain't leaving.
Nope.
You ain't leaving until you sign this motherfucking contract. What how much you want?" You know what I'm saying? Like, so they could make it happen. Yep. They could make it happen. They got the owner, they got the coach, and all that stuff that'll make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, can you Deshaun and Joe Brady in our division?
Fuck that shit, bro. Fuck that. I don't want that shit. Fuck. That's just sitting on, like, oh man, then we could have drafted Deshaun. It's like, man, fuck that shit, dog.
It all comes full circle, right?
All comes flat circle, bro. I'm telling you, man. That shit crazy, man.
Oh God. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like,
hey, Ken, Saints Twitter, like, can we stop like fucking trending Drew Brees? Like, why the fuck has Drew Brees been tweeted for 2 damn days? I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, the man is at home in San Diego somewhere just chilling. He ain't tweeting shit.
Big chilling.
Promoting something. Like, why are we fucking trending this man?
Man, I heard big chilling.
Big chilling, dog. Yeah, I'm like, he's trending.
They at his neck, bro.
My wife, my father-in-law, he called me like, man, I thought we getting rid of Drew Brees. He coming back? Because motherfuckers is posted some old article about him coming back to the Saints, and we got everybody from last year. I'm like, no, he ain't coming back, man. like, what are y'all doing?
Oh, this is pandemic still going on. People ain't got shit to do, bored,
Poor Drew. And the pendulum is kind of shifted because it was like, get rid of Drew Brees. I'm like, hell yeah. And then you had his little defenders like, oh, respect his legacy,
I think who was it? Was it Eric called him the Drew-anons?
The Drew-anons. Oh, man. For real, bro. But now the pendulum is shifted. Like people are like really shitting on Drew. Like, bro, he held the Saints back. He held the Saints back from championships, and he's the worst of them. Like, well, calm down now. Like, come on now, put a little respect on his name.
Please, at least some. Like, if we just speak in football, like last year, I get it. I don't put all of last year the Vikings game on Drew. Like, that was a complete team failure, honestly.
Yeah.
This year against Tampa, yeah, that's on Drew. But I mean, they should have won. They should have been in the Super Bowl. The year, 2 years before, 3 years before. We talked about on the podcast that second half against the Vikings. You're not going to see a better quarterback performance. Like he was out of his mind. Like I get it. Trust me, I do. But put some respect on his name, man. Like,
and let's not even talk about the peak of his primes in the 79 years and the 2012 Bounty Gate, 2011 fiasco in San Francisco. Like, come on now.
Like, I've seen a lot of athletic performances, but being in that stadium, seeing like how, I won't say he's tiny, but like tiny compared to his opponents and the team, like he's like just his stature. And that game against the 49ers was 4 turnovers, 5 turnovers. There was a Courtney Roby fumble. Like, it was just bad, bro. Just bad. We had no reason being in that game. And it was one of the, I think to this day, the loudest away stadium I've been at. It was ruckus in that bitch, bro. Like, it was a party, and if I hear that goddamn song that the 49ers played at kickoff one more time, but to see what he did back against the wall, the play to Darren Sproles, and then they came back with the Alex Smith, quarterback, to the left, whatever. And then the play he makes to Jimmy, like, come on, y'all gotta put some respect on his name, man. He goes in the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning and outplays him. Y'all, come on now. I get it. Like, we haven't, as a team, they haven't gotten over the hump, and Drew's played a part in that. But let's calm down a little bit, please.
But, his time will come. You just need to go ahead and just flick that retirement card, and, then maybe people stop talking about him.
Do that. He's going to get the, NBC, next year. Like, Drew, he's going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
Go get that yellow jacket.
So, I mean, I think we covered the NFL landscape of, quite a bit. We also covered the Saints landscape quite a bit. There's still going to be a lot of moves happening around the league. We're already seeing teams kind of cutting players already. That's going to continue. I'm just now realizing that, like, after next month, or excuse me, after next week, I guess March, like, free agency going to be here soon, bro.
About to pop off, man.
Boy.
Train keep going, man. Free agency next month, then April, I think Is the draft in
Yeah.
April? Into April?
Draft is late April or like the last week of April. They pushed it back
draft, man. I don't feel like it's draft season like for some reason.
It doesn't, bro. It doesn't. Like I have not. Like I've watched some players, and obviously we watched some players for the pod. But like I have not had that like, ooh, like let me go watch some prospects like that.
Yeah,
not hit me, bro.
It has not hit me at all. Like I haven't even been seeing like mock drafts on my TL, like talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like mock draft generators and all that shit. Like I've just seen a couple, but not like crazy. I don't know. It feels different.
Maybe because of no combine. Like I don't know.
I think it's the combine. I think it's because everybody, like even my wife, like watching the combine. I don't know. She like watching motherfuckers in tights running around and shit.
Well,
but like you know, people just like the fucking combine. Like you just get everybody there at the same time, and you know. But so it's just the fact that it's not there, and I'm fine with it not there. Like I know my man Tony Pauline. The list is like
Tony's hot, bro. Are you listening, NFL?
Like, man, I get 95% of my fucking news at the damn combine, bro. Shit.
Tony was hot. But yeah, like you said, man, the train's gonna keep rolling. It's shit's about fucking business about to pick up, bro.
Yeah.
It's about to be fucking popping.
I'm ready.
But I am too, man. Like I get more excited about NFL offseason than I do about the NFL regular season, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know, just to see what teams do and what have you. But anyway, we got you guys covered. We hit on a lot of shit today, and then hopefully next week we can drop what we recorded this past Tuesday. Like if we're able to drop it, hope you guys get to experience it. Like I said when we recorded it was like my Super Bowl. You know, and I've been podcasting 5-ish plus years now, which is off and on, which is kind of crazy. Most excited I've ever been about any type of episode I've ever recorded. And it was amazing. So hopefully we can finally share that soon. And then also next week we will do the JC Horn breakdown. I might throw in another player, like we may break down 2 players. Just for fun, because honestly, I don't think JC Horn is going to be that 28. I think his draft stock is too high. He's the number one, number 2 corner on some people's boards, and it sounds like not the consensus, but most people expect that Patrick Surtain Jr., which is crazy, makes me feel old, is to be the first cornerback drafted, but it seems like that might, it could be JC Horn. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's falling 28, but we'll still break him down. And then we also might throw another player in there. So we got you guys covered. A lot of things coming. If you are a listener, if you haven't got your mask yet, Ryan has sent out more masks. We apologize. The post office is crazy and everything. And if you're a listener,
what the hell's going on?
And also, if you're a listener in, obviously Louisiana, and I have obviously family in Texas and everyone in the South that is dealing with this terrible fucking storm. Like, please stay safe. It's just, it's a little wild that it's fucking 2021 and Mother Nature just shut shit down, bro. Like, it don't matter.
Mother Nature setting us back to 1860, just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Like, a lander just landed on Mars yesterday.
How great that
Mars, bro. Shit landed on Mars, and there's video of a whole ass planet just chilling by itself. We on Earth, we can't figure out how to get water. Come on, man.
My cousin on Facebook like, oh, I got power today, but we don't have no water. Like, what the fuck?
But we on Mars, though.
We on Mars. It's like, oh, Jesus.
Oh, I don't know.
We got to figure some shit out.
Come on, man. Anyway, we're going to get out of here like Ted Cruz, it's getting...
Peace. Peace, niggers.
But with that, we'll be back next week. With that, we're out.
Peace.
Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, and the best daily promotions in the business. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matters more than ever. Remember to use code Hawkeye and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Place your money line, prop, or parlay bets with the king of sportsbooks today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Iowa only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.